You've designed the perfect sweater pattern. The stitches flow, the math all checks out. Or does it? Before you hit publish, there are two crucial steps that separate a beautiful polished pattern from a frustrating mess, and why skipping them is not an option. The first step in design is always inspiration. That may come from something that's missing in your own wardrobe, something you see on the store shelves, maybe a beautiful yarn that you see on Instagram or at a fiber festival. I'm constantly thinking about new designs. That's just the way my brain works. Once the idea is solid, I move on to the yarn and the numbers. The two have to go hand in hand. I knit a swatch, get a fabric I like, and then make a spreadsheet for the pattern in my size. Once I get it in my size, I start knitting, and then I can move on to grading the pattern for all the different sizes. The pattern gives a starting point, but every knitter brings their own perspective, and the pattern gives them a place where they can adjust to fit themselves or their own preferences. Once the pattern is basically written as far as the numbers are concerned, then I move on to Adobe InDesign for pattern layout and for the actual pattern writing. And once that is done, I create a PDF and move on to the next step, which is tech editing. I send my tech editor a PDF of the pattern after I've checked it multiple times. I check it in the morning, I reread it in the afternoon, I wait a day and read it. I also often, if I've got a chart and written instructions, I'll highlight the chart as I read the written instructions for each line of the chart. I go over the pattern as many times as I can until I can't find any other mistakes. And there are always other mistakes. That's where my tech editor comes in. She goes through the pattern line by line and notes anything that she thinks might need changed, maybe I could have said it in a different way that makes the instructions clearer. Maybe I misadded somewhere, but she goes through line by line and number by number and just checks everything for me and then double checks. Then she will send the pattern back to me. I'll go through all the changes that she suggests, and then I make those changes on the pattern and send it back to her just for a last look. Once we've done all the tech edit, then it's time for the test knitters. I usually have 4 to 5 test knitters for each pattern, and I like to have a variety of knitters or knitting abilities in my testers. Some people test quite often for me, and some people are first time testing for me, which is good too, because the people that have tested for me a lot know my writing style and know what I'm saying, where somebody new coming in, things may not be as clear to them as somebody with more experience. And the same thing with knitting level. The newer knitters really help me make the pattern clear for everyone, and the more experienced knitters bring some technical expertise that is valuable too. Both the new knitters and the experienced knitters are very valuable. Once the test knitting wraps up, I make any changes that I determine are needed after the testing, and I send the pattern back to the tech editor for one last look. And then it's go time. I hit publish and it's on to the marketing. And that is the subject for another video. If you're working on your own pattern, don't skip these last steps. They are really crucial for making a good pattern, and you'll be sorry if you do skip them. Let me tell you, I know. If you like what you heard today, please press the like button. If you have any questions, send me a comment, and I'll be glad to talk with you about them. Thanks for watching. Bye.